How many of you are overdue for a digital detox? Please type, "It's me, coach," in the chat box. If you know that you're being, kind of pulled left, right, and center, and, digitally you're pounded with information every second of the day, every second of the week, welcome to this session. Okay. By the way, how many of you will be bored if I give you some physics gyan? Please type NP if that's not a problem. Please type yes if you're going to get bored. I just try to make it a little, give you some angles to think about when it comes to the digital detox. Okay, please type MM if you can see my mind map. Yeah. So I just want to set the context before I give you all 6 ideas. Okay. All right. Okay, what's the context? Who's going to explain the duality principle that you would have learned in a physics class about light? Okay, let me give you this thing. How many of you have at least kind of come across this? There is this dual nature, right? Light is like, it acts as waves. It acts as waves when it starts from the sun and through the vacuum, it acts as a wave. And when it interacts with, with the environment, with air, with water, with material, it has that particle nature. Yeah, how many of you remember this? Please type physics in the chat box. Okay, I just want to set the context. Okay, so the thing is, a lot of things we included, all of us included. Okay, including the digital devices, the technology, and everything. Everything has that duality nature in them. Please type yin and yang in the chat box if you have come across this. Yin and yang energy, right? I hope I'm right. And yang, right? So just like nature has both. So how many of you would love to go on let's say it's a big banyan tree. How many of you would love to go on a walk early in the morning to breathe good oxygen? Please type me in the chat box. Yeah. And how many of you have heard stories where people went there late in the night and, there was some crazy thing happened and they were found dead. You know why? And a lot of researchers say that we know that the plants and the big trees, they give out carbon dioxide in the night, right? How many of you know that? Yeah, some biology stuff there for you. So we also know that because when you go there late in the night, you tend to inhale too much of oxygen. And if it's a huge tree, there have been cases where people have gone unconscious, or worst case, they have lost their lives. Again, please type duality in the chat box. It's great in the morning, but late in the night, not so much for us. We can't survive just on carbon dioxide. Yeah. So just like that, what I'm trying to come to right now is, all right, nature has this duality kind of things, and so does. Please type devices in the chat box. Okay. By the way, that's why I started off with the gratitude for the devices. I love the devices. I love technology. I know you all love it too. But this is the duality of devices as well. You can use it to become excellent, or you can use it to be distracted. So if this is making sense, please type yes in the chat box. Okay, so that's the thing. It's not like we are not here to beat things up saying, hey, this is so bad. We are here to, everyone please type recognize in the chat box. Recognize in the chat box. So just like, how you should avoid going into the forest late in the night, sleeping under big trees late in the evening and in the night, because it's going to emanate carbon dioxide. And you can't live without that same tree because it's like the lungs of nature. It gives you oxygen in the morning. Just like that, we know we can't live without devices. But if you go to it at the wrong time, what do you think is going to happen? Let's say late in the night. What do you think is going to happen? Yeah, if this is a bulb on for all of you, please type BO in the chat box. Same duality, right? So if you may not know it, you may see, the thing is, this is what happened, right? People went to the forest a little late in the night. It was cool and breezy and everything. They slept under the tree, and in the morning they were found unconscious. And they started spinning some stories around it saying, hey, that's some spirit out there, that's some all those random things that they started saying, because they were not aware of the oxygen carbon dioxide cycle that goes on. Just like that, you may do it without awareness or with knowing it that, hey, it's evening time, it's already 10 p.m. I have had my share of digital stuff today, but now it's going to get into the dual nature right now. Now, if I start getting into using my devices, it is no more a positive thing for me. I may have good intentions, but the device is now in its dual state, in the second state. That's going to rob me of my sleep. It's going to impact my productivity, my clarity, everything over the next 24 hours, 48 hours. If you're getting this, please type got it in the chat box. Okay. So some of you, it is a little late in the night when you're about to sleep. Maybe you use the devices too much. Or for some of you, it's during work. You want to be productive, but the duality always exists. So you have to decide what do you use it for and when do you use it for. Okay, so with that context, shall we kind of brainstorm a little bit on 6 ideas to digitally detox? Please type BIO, or like what we say, please type rock and roll in the chat box if you're ready for it. Okay, superb, superb. All right, so let's look at some 6 ideas. Okay, I was just thinking about it, and maybe if you have some more ideas, keep it digitally recorded and share it with the group later on. All right. Okay, idea number one. Idea number one. Okay, let's see what comes up here. What do you see on the screen? What do you see on this image? What's on the image? How many of you have done this? Earth hour. Okay, let me just increase the size of this image so that it's visible. How many of you have done this? Please type Earth Day or Earth hour in the chat box, where you are asked to turn off your lights and everything, right? Yeah, you're asked to do that because we want to give back to the nature. We want to reduce the carbon footprint. Okay. So just like this monthly Earth hour, by the way, like sometimes the state does it, sometimes a city does it, sometimes a corporate does it, sometimes the whole country does it. We know all of this, right? So we all do this. So using this idea, what do you think you can do for digital detox? Okay, there is an Earth hour. Okay, let's say there is an Earth day. You do, let's say, once every week, or let's say once every month. Just like that, what do you think you can do once every month to start with? Okay, give it a funny name, okay, that you and your family can resonate with. No mobile day, okay, or detox day, digital detox day, whatever you want to call it. Okay, or particular time, either one of this. Okay, you can do it a whole day, or if you want, you can start with an hour. Maybe every week, pick that one hour, every day 1 hour, or every week 1 day if you want. Or if that's a little too much to start, okay, one hour in a week where it's going to be total digital silence. How many of you are going to try this out? Okay, I'm curious to know how you're going to implement this. This is not just about Gyan. I want you to try this out and give me feedbacks. Okay, how it goes. So yeah, give me just put a funny name, a very interesting name. Go to ChatGPT, ask it, and be creative. Okay. In Art of Living, it was 3 days. Yeah, just like that. We have to find our art of living now. Okay. Please type yes in the chat box. So that's the first idea for all of us. Follow something like this, like Earth Day, like bring in a digital detox day, and do what you like to do on that day. Do what you used to do that used to make you feel alive. Get back to that. Okay, that's idea number one. Okay, so let's go to idea number two. Let's see. Yes, go free. Okay, let's see what is this. What do you see on the screen? Okay, should I expand the image? Okay, let's. Okay, what do you see on the screen now? Jammer zones, right? How many of you have been in a zone, like especially in Bangalore, since there are a lot of defense areas and all. When you go near that, you don't get your signals. How many of you have seen it? Please type yes. So just like that, even in your house or even at your workplace, how many of you are ready to create detox zones? Everyone, please type detox zone in the chat box. Yeah. So which means, like you need to have some detox zones or a jammer zones where you don't get any devices there. For example, it can be your dining table. Please type detox zone. So create this. You need not have to create every zone like this. Start with one place where anytime you or your family members, you go there, it'll be a no digital signals in that zone. Ready to try this? Please type yes in the chat box. Okay. So just give it a shot. So you know what you should be doing. Put in some put in some banners or write some notes and say that this is a detox zone. Put it there so that it cues your mind and tells you that, hey, you know what, I shouldn't be getting my devices here. It can be, yeah, the place where you sleep, your rooms, right? That can be a detox zone. And you can also create detox zone at a specific time. For example, your living room where you watch TVs and all, but let's say after, or let's say 10 to 11, it becomes a digital or a detox zone. No signals, nothing. Yeah, the bedroom. So that's very important for all of us, right? So we should not be using devices at least an hour before we go to sleep. So try this out. That's idea two. Okay, super. So shall we go to idea three? Please type yes. Just want to see if you're all here. Okay, let's go to idea three. All right, let's see what else we can do here. What do you see on the screen? Okay. So how many of you do the Ekadashi and all, like once every 15 days, where you go on a fasting? At least you've heard about that, right? Please type yes. So just like that, create your digital fasting days. Okay, I hope you're all making some notes on these points. Okay, just like and the fasting you do as a way to rejuvenate your body, as a way to re-energize yourself. It's a very amazing process, right? We all know that. Just like that, create those days. Again, like we spoke about Earth Hour, Earth Day. It's very similar to that concept, but give it a little bit more spiritual angle, where when on that day you go and do some contributions, you help someone, you get into the spiritual mode, you get into more mindful mode, more working on your own inner self. Do things like this. Okay, so that can be a 15-day once kind of an activity that you can do. So, okay, if you're ready, please type yes in the chat box. So by the way, by the way, no, the cycles that we have in our culture. Okay, you do the Ekadashi, one full day fasting, and the next day, Dwadashi, you're supposed to eat before sunrise. How many of you know that? And even that is kind of programmed in a beautiful way, right? In a very scientific way, because your body needs that food immediately, and you get into that re-energizing mode immediately the next day. Okay, please type awesome in the chat box. So just try this out. So let me know how this works for you. Okay, that's idea number three for all of us. Okay, shall we go for idea four? Please type four in the chat box. Please make notes. I would love for all of you to share your notes. What do you see on the screen? What do you see on the screen? For all the gamers out there. Okay, you see four. Okay, but what do you see in the four? Okay, let me expand this. Can you see this guy here? He has a red cap and a blue. Thankfully, Mario. I feel blessed today. Thank you so much for that. Yes, Mario. And who's this? Who's Mario fighting? Okay. Who do you think Mario is fighting here? Everyone, please type the boss in the chat box. Okay. Yeah, that's the dragon. Okay, the boss, right? It's the boss level, which means it's going to be very, very difficult. Okay. So, what idea do you think you can have from this? What's an idea that you can drive from this when it comes to digital detox? Yeah. Okay. Fight your enemy, no matter how small, We are, yeah. It's not about the size of the dog in the fight, but it's about the size of the fight in the dog, as they say, right? Something like that. So boss level is, yeah, it will be difficult. Uh, there are there are things that will be very difficult to do, but you nevertheless you give it your best shot. Yeah, you anyway give it your best shot there. So in the context of digital detox, let's generate some ideas around this. Okay, I'm just giving you a moment. Think about it. Yeah, play a game. Okay. Sometimes, when you have to get past and reach the goal, the last few stages will be even more difficult for you, right? But you just have to keep going. You have to not give up in that kind of a situation. So it's more out of that context. So that's what this is about. So let's look at this. Okay, I just want to, super difficult to get past that. Okay. In the context, what I actually meant here is make it difficult. Everyone, please type make it difficult in the chat box, which means to use your devices, you're going to make it very, very difficult. Okay. For example, so Madhu, you tried this out. Delete your apps, which means every time you want to use the app, it's going to be very difficult for you again, right? So set the do not disturb modes, change your pin and forget it if that's possible. Okay, the only way to recover is, yeah, you have to kind of reflash the device, right? Sometimes we end up doing that. So try these things, or ask your partner, whoever you are with, to set the pin on your device and ask them to reset it in the morning. If you're dealing with it too, kind of, it's at a very crazy level, and you really want to have a hold on that, you can even do that. Okay. So the idea number 4 is make things difficult. Whatever you want to do, you don't want to do, make it difficult. Whatever you want to do, make it easy. If you got it, please type got it in the chat box. So get into it like a boss level. How many of you have seen those alarms where for you to switch off that alarm, the only way is to solve a complex math problem? Have you used those alarms? It will be like shouting like crazy, and you're still sleeping, you have to be awake, you have to pay attention, solve that, put that number, and then it stops. Okay, so that's the idea number 4 for all of us. Please type got it in the chat box. Okay. Okay, so now let's go to idea number 5. Let's see what else can we do when it comes to digital detox. What do you read on the screen? What do you read on the screen? I'll just give you all a minute. Okay. Okay, electrolysis. Okay. Do you see something called the displacement reaction there? Okay, displacement reaction, right? So we would have learned about this. So the thing is, if you want to get out of the digital, kind of you want to get into the digital detox mode, you have to replace this habit of, going through the digital thing and having those dopamine hits constantly with something else. What is that something else? Can be very personal and what you want to do. So I want all of you to share with me. So what do you think you can replace the habit of constantly scrolling on your mobile, on your devices with? What do you think you can replace it with? What is a different habit that you can replace it or displace it with? Please let me know through the chat box. Okay. Spending time with kids, amazing thing. Read a book, very good. That will really help. What else do you think you can do? What other habits you can replace? Play outdoor games, very good. So all of those things, right? We want to replace it. Get back to your hobbies, podcast. Do something Replace devices with books, musics, dance, art, etc. Play chess. Okay, those are all things that we all can definitely at least start trying, right? Which means now you have option to, yeah, flute. It's an awesome thing to do. Your mouth will also be busy. Hopefully, our family will also be happy that you're this busy playing the flute. And if you play it well, everyone around your house will also be happy. That's a good thing to have. Okay, please type awesome in the chat box. Yeah, puzzles. See how many ideas we are just generating just now through this, the displacement reaction, right? The replacement kind of a habit. So that's habit number 6, or the idea number 6. That's idea number 5 that we all can build. Okay, ready for the last one? Please type yes in the chat box. Okay, if you don't play well, yeah, you will get some call from your neighborhood. Otherwise also, if you play well also, people will reach out to you. Okay, they'll ask you to play more. Okay, so on that note, what do you see here? The cup that India did not get, this Asia Cup, right? Okay, so what do you see here? So the thing is, yeah, exactly. Like what we're trying to say is, see, of course, you have the Instagram, you have the Facebook, you have YouTube, you have Netflix, you have Amazon Prime Video, you have all of these things. And we are not here to say that, hey, just get rid of that and just live your life like a rishi or a muni or something like that. We are not here to just, kind of create that kind of a life and lifestyle. We also want to enjoy Instagrams and Facebooks and Apple, the AI and everything, right? How many of you actually like to do that? Yeah, it can be learning, it can be binge watch, whatever it is. I like to do that. But just that if it goes out of control, that's when the problem happens, isn't it? If you know what I'm saying, please type yes in the chat box, which means, you know what we're going to do? What we're going to do is we're going to reward ourselves. You're going to reward yourself. Like, when you go on a streak, let's say you implement one or more of these ideas, please type 1 to 5 in the chat box. You implement one of these ideas, okay? And you go on a streak. What's a streak? Go on let's say a 5-day streak. Let's say you start with saying, hey, you know what? My dining table is going to be a kind of a jammer zone, which means I'm not going to get any devices there. Okay, let's say we build that. And let's say you saw that, hey, for the next 5 days, you did not do that during your dinner time. Reward yourself by just go and binge watch for 10 minutes, 15 minutes, or let's say 30 minutes. That's a reward you're giving to yourself. Because I don't want you to not experience that side of the social media, the devices and all. Experience it, but do it in moderation. If you're getting this, please type got it in the chat box. Okay, so please go and enjoy. You have this, we are on this planet to enjoy all of these things. But the more we can do in a more conscious and more moderated way, we know that we can spend our time, focus, energy towards what really matters for us, isn't it? Ultimately, know this, okay? Before, I want to share a very powerful statement that I learned. But before that, can you all now reflect on all the things that you learned and share what are your top lessons from today? Are you ready for that? I just wanted to share this very, very important lesson. How many of you want to really be rich, really be wealthy in your life, and rich in not just in terms of the amount of money that you have, not just in terms of the properties, but rich in life, wealthy in life itself? Please type me in the chat box. Yeah, we all want to do that, right? So here is this very simple equation. Maybe you already know about this, but if you really want to be rich, any area of your life, okay, if you really want to be rich, and again, this is on the context of digital detox itself, if you want to get there, you have to create more than you consume. Let me repeat that. Let's say in your relationship, you want to be very rich and awesome and amazing, you have to create more than you consume. Sometimes the consumption is just in our head. It may not be a digital media consumption. It might just be some thoughts that you keep consuming, those little voices that keep kind of irritating and creating those noise in your head. You have to block that and start create a beautiful relationship. If you're getting this, please type got it. In the context of digital detox, stop consuming. Stop consuming more. Start creating more. Okay, in the digital world itself, you be the creator in this digital world. Let people watch your contents, your posts on LinkedIn, your reels. Let them watch it. You go and create it. In health, don't be consuming random things. Don't be just eating anything and everything that is there on the shelf that you see that grabs your attention. Create things for yourself. What is creation and eating? You prepare the food, right? You are the creator there, right? Same thing in any area of your life. When you create more and consume less as in consume less of the toxicity that's out there, you will be rich in your life, in every area of your life. So on that note, thank you again for being here. I hope this digital detox is going to set the tone for the last 3 months. You know why I shared that message saying Happy New Year? How many of you thought, has my coach gone crazy today? Please type me. I shared that Happy New Year message because, okay, thanks for thinking that, Madhu. I shared that because I want you to be, you need to be thinking about 2026 already. You know that this 3 months is going to just go like this in a breeze, right? Just like the last so many months. So we don't want to be in that state again. So have a head start, get into the digital detox mode. And when you hit 2026, you will already be having one of the most important habits of the century, which is to know how to digitally detox yourself. So that's what I'm really excited for all of us here. And I'll keep sharing what do we do next. Maybe a challenge, maybe we'll go on a 7-day challenge next week. But for now, please implement all of this and keep me posted how it goes. Thank you so much for being here. Let's do some digital detox, okay? Have a great rest of the night. I'll catch you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.